All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmy Gengler. I'm the CEO of Softjourn, and with me is Yuriy Kropelnytskiy. He is a blockchain lead responsible for design, development, and deployment of the application that we're going to go through with you today. So there are a few things that we'd like you to get out of this presentation. The first one is how to choose the right blockchain platform if you are thinking about building one. So we're going to go through some criteria. Next one is we're going to show you about connecting IoT to the blockchain. And the last one is we're going to be dissecting a little bit more into smart contracts. So this is 2017. We're going to make some assumptions that a lot of people now are familiar with the basic terms of blockchain, so we won't be going through those. So why did we even develop this application? In 2016, we had a few pain points collide for us. So we're a tech company, like many of you. We have to compete very heavily for the best tech talent. And then once we get them into the company, how do we do things like assess them, reward them, provide them with concierge services, and what services? Then once we do that, how do we track all of it? Also, we'd like to engage our employees. We have a Softjourn leadership school. We'd like people to be able to share their knowledge, but how do we encourage people to do that, to share their knowledge, do workshops, to be mentors for others? And then again, how do we track all of that? Another pain area for us was corporate social responsibility. So we've always been very heavily involved in giving in the communities where we work, where we have offices. We have a Softjourn Foundation. That foundation is created from funds that Softjourners voluntarily, monthly remunerations, a piece of it goes into the Softjourn Foundation. Any Softjourner has always been free to suggest a social project. And that could be anything. It might be helping the community, let's say, clean up around the lake, add a parklet here. It could be something more serious, where somebody in the community needs an operation or expensive medical treatments. If there was enough agreement, that project could be funded. But as we grow, how do we make sure that we have a consensus among Softjourners that they're happy with where their funds are going to? And again, how do we encourage more people to come up with social projects and to want to give and to give these ideas to us? The next area is tech services company. We are a company, let's think Accenture or PwC, but much smaller. We concentrate heavily on the financial services area. So like a lot of you and a lot of industries, there's been a lot of talk about what are the use cases for my product. So our clients were coming to us and saying, okay, we don't know how to use blockchain. Blockchain. We keep hearing about it. What do we do with it? In order to be able to advise our clients, we decided we needed to develop an application ourselves where we could really do a deep dive into the technology, not just do a POC. And that's what we did. So we came up with SJ Coins. We are obviously developing it and releasing it in stages. The first stage was released December of last year. At the very basic level, all employees received an account, and they received an equal number of coins. And what's the first thing they could do with those coins? Download the iOS or Android app and use it as a wallet to buy something from the vending machine in the office. That's the first thing. The second thing, 2.0, was released in about a month ago, and that's starting the corporate social responsibility piece. So at the very basic level, it is very similar to what we had before. A Softjourner could be a sponsor or a representative of a social project, whatever it is. And then it's done on a crowdfunding process. So we have a web portal. They go out to the web portal, define the project, set the deadline for the project and the funding amount. Then every other Softjourner goes out there, sees what's out there, and there are some interesting projects out there. They could decide to give as few coins or as many coins as they want, or give nothing at all if they like the project. Now, the corporate social responsibility piece is very important for us, and there's already different functionality in the works, and there's going to be many more releases in that area. For example, the next one is actually bringing on a social organization to have its own node on the blockchain. And then further beyond that, to actually track the funds that we give. How are they actually used? So there's transparency in that area. And the third piece is service providers. So we like to engage with a lot of service providers to provide different services rewards to our employees. So here we want to bring service providers into the blockchain. This piece is just in design right now. A service provider could come on, for example, let's say it's a health club. A Softjourner buys a pass for 10 yoga visits. Let's say it costs them $100 for simplicity's sake. The service provider agrees via the smart contract to give a discount to the employee if they go to all 10 classes. So it will be tracked. You went to all 10 classes, smart contract kicks off. The service provider provides a discount of $20 to that Softjourner. The equivalent amount of $20 goes in coins into their account. The $20 itself goes to the Softjourn Foundation. So this is in design. This helps give more coins, certainly, to the Softjourners, gets more money into their account that we hope will encourage them to get more involved in the social projects and give more in that area. As well, there's a benefit as well for the service provider that they can actually then see my patrons, what are they supporting? What are they interested in the community? I want to talk with you a little bit about some of the other players and some of the different smart contracts that we have set up. So obviously, Softjourn at the center is the company. Then we have employees. There are smart contracts for everybody gets a static number of coins a month. But what we're also developing right now is Softjourners could earn coins for doing different things. So if they participate in providing a workshop in our Softjourn Leadership School, if they do mentoring, there's different levels and ways they can earn coins and get more money. Vending machine, obviously, smart contracts for managing inventory and the passing of tokens. Smart contracts right now for crowdfunding piece, which is between the Softjourner and the Softjourn Foundation. Soon it will be between the social organization and the Softjourn Foundation. And then once we go to the service providers, those of course will be multi-party contracts. So service provider, employee, and the Softjourn Foundation. Now I'm going to turn it over to Yuriy, who's going to talk a little bit about the tech that's powering this ecosystem.
Thank you, Emmy. The question was why we decided to use Monex or Aries former or Monex now. So we checked a lot of cryptocurrencies, and for example, open chain, open transaction, Ethereum. All this system have their own benefits and advantages, of course, but in the end, we were actually choosing between Ethereum as most development system and Aries or Monex right now. And we decided to choose Monex because it doesn't allow to mine coins. It's very important for us because we need to control the total amount of coins inside of the system. So this is just bullet points that explain why we decided to use Monex because of Ethereum virtual machine, consensus engine, smart contracts, and Solidity as programming language for smart contracts. So let's get some technical details. So we got Seiko vending machine without payment system, and installed a Raspberry Pi single-board computer. Our developers created a hardware cable emulator, and our Raspberry Pi runs Java client that linked with blockchain to accept external requests and initiate communication between servers and goods inventory servers. Well, why we decided to use Java? Because, well, Java is multi-platform, and it's easier for us to create such kind of application for Raspberry Pi. So we also had some challenges. For example, it was not easy to find documentation about this vending machine. We need to analyze protocol, create keyboard emulator, and link everything together. On the next stage, we added some kind of Softjourn Foundation project that allows people to create local projects, found them by voting and spending some coins there. Also, we added support of multiple vending machines and, of course, vending servers. So, as I mentioned before, smart contracts is the cornerstone of our project. You may ask, can we do the same type of application without smart contracts? Yes, of course, we can do this, but it's much easier to do with smart contracts. And Solidity is a programming language to run smart contracts. It's very similar to object-oriented classes. It has constructors, inheritance, variables, different simple and complicated types. This is just a piece of code to show how we run crowdfunding. You can see the function, for example, check goal is reached, and actually this function returns the value if goal is reached. So now I show a few things. First, our portal to run local project, and the second, we created special admin tools for compiling and deploying smart contracts, well, for testing only. You can see here that this portal, I will translate it to English because it has some local names, so we can see it's just for fun they creating different projects and voting them and supporting. And when you create this local project, smart contract automatically created, compile it, deploy it to production. But if you want to test it, we need to compile such kind of project. So here we have like a crowdfunding solidity contract. I will copy it and put here and compile. So you can see bytecode here and also ABI JSON interface. We can download them for sure. So now we'll try to deploy this smart contract. Soon deploy. We can upload ABI, upload bytecode, use the project, enter some name, for example, crowd 5515. We need to put some addresses. Here and here, some numbers. It doesn't matter. It's just duration in minutes. And we can submit the project. Yeah, now you can see we have here, okay, was constructor, some function, and everything else.
Okay, just a couple of things. As I already mentioned, we launched this December 1st. For the first phase, it is in continual design and development and does have other stages in the planning works. To date, 67% of Softjourners have used the application to actually make purchases via the vending machine. Part of that's a function that's a little bit lower, as we don't have a vending machine in every office yet. To date, 50% of Softjourners have voted for and committed money to one of their favorite projects. That might be a little low, but you could see some of the projects from the portal that Yuriy showed you. Right now it's kind of in the testing phase, and people were getting a little carried away with, we want greening the office projects, or we want PlayStation or something like that.
Or support Army.
Different things to support internal, which is fine. It's going to take a little while to get up to the different types of projects, certainly in the environment. And to date, more than 5 million blocks have been written. Well, blocks are continually being written to the blockchain, so that number is continually increasing. So Yuriy showed you some of the things related and talked about some of the criteria that we used and that anyone can use to determine which blockchain platform to go with. But the important thing to remember is that that's a moving target. There's a lot of changes going on in that environment, and you need to look at what your situation is at the time you're looking to develop something. We also talked a little bit about connecting IoT to blockchain and how we did that, as well as we went a little bit deeper into the smart contracts. So what Yuriy showed you from the first code was actually, when you actually create a social project via the platform, the smart contract itself is actually compiled and deployed automatically in production. But the tool he showed you for compiling and deploying separately, that's a tool that we only use for testing, and that just enables us to develop faster. So at this time, I think we are ready for any questions. So the first one, we expected this question: why use blockchain instead of a database that supports state management? Just trying to understand what the blockchain advantages are in the use case. Okay, so I can see from some of the basics of it, initially we probably didn't need to have blockchain. You can do crowdfunding applications without blockchain. But we're already seeing some of the benefits. And certainly we could not build out. So to try and bring on a social organization to have its own node on the blockchain, we could not do that and let them have that level of transparency that they're going to have when they're actually on the blockchain. We couldn't do that unless we built out the blockchain platform. So it was our idea from the very beginning is that we would add on social organizations, that we would be able to add on service providers who will actually participate in the blockchain. And we can't do that any other way. Some other very quick benefits that all Softjourners got immediately is their accounts can't be hacked. We can't take their coins. They can't lose their coins.
And can be changed.
And they can't be changed. So without blockchain that as well, that is one thing that we got out of it. Next question. Do you have any projects live with US-based banks? Not in blockchain.
But, yeah.
In other areas, we do, because we have worked in the financial services area for a while. How is privacy and access control to transactions handled? Do you use ZK-SNARK?
We use public and private keys to access to blockchains using our mobile applications. So, well, HTTPS protocol and cloud-based servers. So, what is the most interesting crowdfunding social project you have seen?
On our portal? Well, yeah. Okay, there was is it the most on the grenadine syrup?
Grenadine syrup, they decided to crowdfund the purchase of few grenadine syrups just to make drinks after the work. So, but it just samples. People in our company have some kind of humor. So yeah, I
think the first one that did get funded and the first one that people were very interested in is we are building out our offices, and there was a green project to add more plants and add more oxygen into the environment.
And also dog shelters, hospitals for dogs. Well, and
there are
we
some
also
other real
supporting
projects.
the Ukrainian army actually. So.
Are there any participants in your blockchain besides us? No. We are the only node right now.
Not yet, but we have some kind of plans to
and
extend our infrastructure.
And we will be adding on a social organization as our next node on the blockchain. So we would be happy to talk with you about it more. We can show you more of the application, the mobile application and else. And thank you very much for your time.